Hello.
Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. That on my end, that was so freaking loud.
Was it? I'm so sorry.
Jeez.
What is up, y'all?
I need to recover from that one.
Alrighty,
Jeez.
well, what a way to start. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to JNT. That's how it be.
Oh yeah.
And gosh, what are we at? I think this is episode 40 that we're recording, which is
Maybe
crazy.
39, maybe?
I thought last week was 39.
I don't know. Well,
Well,
when I was going through videos,
yeah.
I found more than what I thought I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you
Well, the last
sent them to me, this would be 40.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was looking at.
I thought we were like 41 or something like that. Oh well.
Nope. This is the big 4-0. Ayo.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, in the last episode, we were talking about Tyler over here, his summer, and his wonderful, wonderful experience at
Yes.
camp. And now I get to tell you about my wonderful experience at camp. Oh. Yo, my lights just went out. But
yeah, that's awesome.
it's fine. It's good. We're all good, you know?
It's a vibe.
It is a vibe. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going to be telling y'all about my summer experience and kind of what I was doing with all that. Yeah, I'll just jump in.
Yep.
So,
sit back, relax. That's all you gotta do.
Or don't. I mean, you can stress if you want. I don't know why you would, but
I'm always stressed.
that's fair. Yeah.
So do me.
Or don't.
Just talk.
Okay. Anyways, so let's see here. All the way back in January. Okay, we're going all the way back to January. Somebody at my school reached out and was like, "Hey, there's this thing called like summer recruitment teams, is kind of what they call them. And you were recommended to us to do this thing." And I'm like, "Okay, sounds good. Like, I'm kind of in." They're like, "Yeah, it's gonna take up like 9 weeks of your summer." It's like, oh, okay. Well, I kind of wanted to work and make some money, and they're like, "Oh, it's okay. You get a scholarship." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I can trade that off. Like, this sounds fun." Basically what it is we come back to school in the summer, like at the beginning of the summer, and have a week of like intense training. But during the previous semester, during the spring semester, we had a bunch of trainings like throughout the whole semester. So we had, I don't know, probably like 7 or 8 trainings, and they weren't like anything like really intense or anything. It was just kind of like get together for like 45 minutes and talk about whatever we needed to discuss. And then like the first week that we had of like responsibilities over the summer was like a really intense week of basically a training camp, but it's not like physical training. It's like understanding what to do in certain situations and like how to go about things when you're at these summer camps. Okay, so these are summer camps that we're going to of almost every week was like high school kids that we were dealing with. And yeah, it was for the most part a pretty decent experience, I would say. We had some bumps along the way, but it wasn't terrible. We so yeah, at the beginning of the summer we had that week of training, and then we like pretty much just picked up and went. And this isn't like we're talking like camps that are like an hour away or so. We're talking states away. Like I was in a different state every week, which is a lot, like Tyler, he was at least like grounded in one place. Me,
Hmm.
I was like going nonstop,
Oh
um,
yeah.
in a bunch of different places, which is, to be honest, a lot mentally. Because every time you're going to a new place, you have to readjust. You have to figure out where things are, what you're doing, what's the vibe, um, and you have to process all of that mentally really fast. Because at the end of the week, you're picking up and moving to somewhere else, and so you don't really get much time to do any processing of any sort. And so it's wild. But anyways, I'll kind of walk you through a little bit, just not in detail, but kind of how each week went. So week one, by the way, we started in Tennessee. That's where my school is at. So week one, we leave Tennessee and we go up to Indiana, to a fairly decent sized camp. For most of the days, we would have like 40 students, but then in the evenings, like students from like these other, like, I guess you could call them sub camps. Like they're in like they're not around us necessarily, but then like in the evening they join us, and then we had like 90 some students or whatever.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but throughout the days, like we would be placed into these like smaller groups of students, like leaders and students, and we would go and just do fun activities throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, we would have like a main session. We would do some worship. Like there'd be like a speaker who would come and talk about whatever. Usually, most camps have like a theme of the week, and so we would just kind of be there facilitating that, but also like talking to the students about, hey, like, what'd you think from this? Kind of like trying to prompt them to like really think critically about whatever was happening that evening. And then we
Hmm.
would usually end with like a campfire. So the first week was actually really good for me, like a really solid week. I had a lot of fun, and I wasn't tired. I wasn't tired because it was week one. I was like, "Hey, this is
Yeah,
great. I'm having a
yeah. That's
blast."
that's normally how it starts
Yeah,
out.
yeah, and you're like all upbeat and happy and like, "Yeah, this is great." And yeah,
Slowly goes
slowly
downhill
it
from
kind
there.
of, yeah. So week two, we actually headed back to Tennessee for a camp, um, and we were on a college campus for this kind of like, it was less a camp and more of like a conference. But we went and did that. If you know what CIY is, that's what it was. But anyways, we went ahead and did that, and it was kind of a very chaotic week. We didn't know, but some like certain CIY events is like an entire church takeover, and
Oh
it
wow.
was not listed as one of those events, but it was, and those are called like custom events, is what they call them basically. So we went and did this custom event, and it was really unorganized, and not that's not on like CIY or anything. Like they didn't know we were coming, so it was just like poorly communicated between us and and not we weren't communicated badly with CIY, but like the church didn't do a great job of communicating with CIY that we were going to be there and all that. But it was um at the beginning of the week it was kind of rough. We actually ended up sleeping on in like a lobby area on mattresses on the ground.
Oh
Um
boy.
so that was kind of rough. Uh yeah, it was, and it wasn't, it wasn't really anybody's fault. It was kind of, honestly, it was kind of the college's fault, to be honest. They like just didn't provide us with enough. They didn't provide CIY with enough dorm rooms to do stuff. So it was just kind of like, yeah, this is all we got. Like, we're sorry.
Jeez.
So
Were they not expecting that many people there, or?
I think that might have been part of it. Um, Again, like I said, like the church didn't do a great job of
Yeah.
communicating that we were going to be there. But I mean, the theme of camp teams is basically like be flexible. And so
Oh.
we were very flexible. uh, yeah, it was,
Yeah, you kind of have to be at that point.
and it was just hard too, because like the CIY staff, they were like they had to get up early in the morning. Like we're talking like
Hmm.
6 o'clock, and they would have to walk through that lobby, and so like we get woken up every time like they would walk through, and it was
Yeah.
just like we were just exhausted already. By the end of week 2, we were just exhausted. It was honestly a kind of a stressful week, but um, it still was good. By the end of the week, it was getting like it was better. The beginning of the week was
Nice,
just really
nice.
hard. We had some we had almost a medical emergency,
Mm.
but that's okay.
We love
It
those.
was handled. Yeah, it was handled. And so it's all good. It ended out better, but I know we were all like ready to leave, just because it was messy. Um,
Yeah.
then week 3 was actually really good. We went to Ohio and had a camp there, and it was really chill. Like there were like maybe 30-35 students there, if that,
Oh,
like
nice.
total. So it was a tiny camp,
I'm
but
sure that was great.
it was actually really great. Yeah, it was like really easy to connect with some of the students because they
Oh yeah.
were, there's not a lot of them, so you're pretty much always around them, and we
Yeah.
just had a lot of fun. It was really chill. Like, we weren't held to like a rigid schedule, and we
Hmm.
and we had nap time. Oh my goodness.
Nap time.
We had a nap time at our camp. Let me
Yo, I
tell
so
you,
want nap time.
let me tell you what, nap time came in clutch.
I
So
want nap time.
we had an hour nap time, and like the time between when like lights out is and when you're
Hmm.
like supposed to get up is like 9 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So that was by far like like I want to say it was the best place for sleeping, but it wasn't because the mattresses were like sleeping on rocks. Like
Yeah.
it was like, well, not on rock, more like sleeping on the floor. Like they were so solid, like
Yeah.
rock solid, these mattresses that like, I
Well, they
mean,
like
it
the
was
blue.
just,
Were they like blue or something like that?
yes, like
Those suck,
the blue and
dude.
white ones. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
those
Yeah.
things suck.
Yep, those were, ooh, man,
on
it was like
on some of those,
sleep.
they have like one side is firm and the other side is soft. Did you
Yeah,
try like flipping it over?
I did not, but that would have been good to probably do
Yeah,
looking back.
I
Oh
know.
well.
I know only some of those have that
Yeah.
option though.
Well,
That mattress might not have had that.
and actually the leaders got bigger mattresses than the
Yeah.
students. So like the students had like I think twin ones, and I think we had
Hmm.
full size. Uh,
Okay.
so that was nice. But yeah, it was it was good though. The week of camp was good. Um, let's see here. Where did we go after? Oh, then we went to another CIY in Michigan, and that was probably my favorite week. To be honest, it was fantastic. Yeah, at the first like youth conference that we went to, there was probably I think like I want to say like 400 some because it was just the one
Oh
church, so
wow.
there wasn't a ton of students. Like for CIY, that's not a lot.
Yeah.
But in Holland, Michigan,
Oh
there were
no.
1,700 students,
Oh my
and it
gosh.
was actually so fun. It was so fun.
Jeez.
Yeah, like the like it's all set up like in their like basketball arena, and it was a blast. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say on that. I mean, we just had a lot of fun.
Jeez.
We met a lot of really cool people who just like were doing the same thing we were doing, because
Yeah.
we're not, it's not like we're the only school that goes and does this. And so we just met a lot of really cool people that week and had a lot of fun with students. And yeah, I think that probably was my
Nice.
favorite week. Then we went all the way from Michigan to Georgia.
Georgia, huh?
All the way from Michigan to Georgia, which was that was a drive. That was a drive. Um but we made it to Georgia and it was a camp. I don't think I've ever sweat so much in my life as much as I did that week. Pretty
Yeah.
much none of the buildings except for like the cabins had AC, and it was like
Oh,
not great AC. It was like meh at
yeah.
best. And thankfully I got a bunk right next to it, next to the AC.
Oh,
So I was
nice.
I was surviving. I was surviving, so it was okay. But yeah, we went to Georgia, went to this camp, and it was super sweaty. I kid you not, I took 3 showers a day.
Oh my gosh.
Every day, I took 3 showers a day. Um,
Why? Just
cause,
why?
cause I was so sweaty and gross, and I always shower in the morning. I always shower in the morning.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay,
I was showering, uh, usually after swim time.
that's
Because we
fair.
were, I mean, we were in a pool. I just
Yeah.
wanted the chlorine out, and plus, I still felt gross. Even after being in the pool for like an hour, I felt like I still felt gross. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna shower. And then, um, honestly, we did so much stuff in the evening, like
Uh-huh.
so much stuff that like you came back to the cabins just like so sweaty and gross and disgusting, and I was like, I'm not getting into my bunk this
Yeah.
gross. I'm not like, like if like I had no other choice, then like okay, like I'll do that. But like the
Yeah.
shower
No.
was there, it was available. I'm gonna hop in, rinse off, and get in my bed,
Yeah.
and not make my bed as gross as I am.
Jeez.
So
Yeah, I know. I normally should shower at like nights and stuff, so I just kind of fight through it all day.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, it was just, and I always shower in the morning because like I'm just, if I don't, I'm a mess. So that's just the way it grows. Yeah, it goes. But
nice.
yeah. So that was week 5. Oh, we had like 110 students at that camp. So it
Oh,
was a little
that's not
bit.
bad.
It was busier than pretty much most of the other camps we went to. We'll get to week 7 here in a second,
Oh
but
no.
um, but for the most part, the students were really good. They were they were nice. Uh, we had some students. Not I didn't personally, but some students got baptized, so that was kind of cool.
Nice.
So that was fun. I will say that week was rough because we had one of the deans kind of was trying to do like apologetics to students. If you don't know
Huh.
what that is, that's like basically like defend your faith with like a bunch of like facts and figures and like all this stuff.
Oh geez.
Basically, he was like kind of saying like, hey, this is all a bunch of stuff that like people tell you is fact in science when it's actually just a bunch of theories, and this is why like Christianity like
Oh
disproves some of
jeez.
these theories. It's like, and he was just throwing all these facts and figures out, and it's like this isn't what students need. Like this isn't
No.
what high school students need to hear right now. And like there was just some things that theologically just were kind of iffy, and so like all of us on my team were kind of like, this is kind of sus, but like it's
Yeah.
okay. Like it wasn't
It's okay,
it wasn't
man.
like it wasn't like he was preaching heresy or anything, but it was
Yeah.
still like it kind of just rubbed us the wrong way. But overall,
Yep.
the camp was like really good. Like the camp was a lot of fun. Then we went back up to Ohio for a different camp. And that one was also really fun. That was a really good camp. We had like I think 40 probably about 40 45ish students. Um
Nice,
but
nice.
it was also kind of like the other Ohio camp, like really chill. Like
Hmm.
we had a little bit more of a tentative schedule, but it wasn't like
Yeah, yeah.
it wasn't super rigid still, and we just had a lot of fun. And there's a lot to do. It was really pretty there. It was really pretty that week. It wasn't like crazy hot, and we were just in a nice little secluded area, so it was really peaceful. I
Nice.
remember it being really peaceful there, and we met some really cool people too, so that was awesome.
Hmm.
Actually, so like sort of the point of this summer was for us to recruit people to like come to our school. And so like we had uh we actually like were allowed to give like these small scholarships to people that like seemed like they were really interested in coming to our school. And so
Hmm.
we actually gave a student this scholarship, and literally the other day he was here visiting, like
Oh
on
wow.
a college visit. And it was awesome. Like I saw him and I was like, "Yo, dude, what's up? Like I can't believe you're here. This is awesome."
Hmm.
Um so yeah, that was really good. We had a blast with
Nice.
that. And then oh, week
Oh no.
7 in
Oh no.
Indiana. That was our only middle school week.
Uh oh.
And let me tell you, 180 middle schoolers
Couldn't do it. Nope.
was rough. Was very rough.
Already know.
Yeah,
Couldn't do it.
yeah, it was crazy. But these students, they were a little bit wild, more than a little bit. They were, and man, bless their hearts, but wow, they some of them were really rough and really misbehaved, and that was just like at week 7 when we're almost done with the summer and just a lot has been happening. It was just difficult. It was a difficult thing. But we that was more of that week was less of have fun and more of just survive.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
we were kind of in survival mode that week.
Me for like
But
half the year.
yeah. Uh, but the final week, week 8, we were back in Tennessee, which was good to end close to school. But
Nice.
it was our last week. It was another CIY. We had probably like 600 students, so it wasn't like
Okay.
anything crazy, but it was
Yeah.
still fun. And the food wasn't great. I remember that. I remember the food not being great, but other than that, it was a blast. Um, yeah, we just again met really cool people, had a lot of fun. There were a lot of students there.
Nice.
Um, and so we finished and obviously went back to school and then went back home for like a couple weeks and then came back here for this semester, as in like right now. So the summer was wild and it was hectic,
Hmm.
but it grew me a lot. And
Nice.
I'm really thankful for that. And I think that it's given me a lot of experience, a lot of insight, um, and I feel like I'm a better person because of it. So yeah,
That's good.
yeah, and that was my
Did
summer.
you, did you have a chance to go home before school started?
Yeah, I was home for 2 weeks
Oh,
before
it's not
school.
bad.
Yeah, yeah,
How
and
much how much did you sleep after all that?
um, surprisingly, it was actually hard for me to sleep.
Huh.
Like I was so used to like sleeping for like 6.5, 7 hours,
Yeah.
that we like I just like, ooh, I could not like. It took me a while to get into like a good sleeping schedule
Huh.
because I was just, yeah, I had to get used to getting like a normal 8 hours of sleep again, and just like
Yeah.
being used to being in my own bed again. It was crazy. So
Yeah. The week that I had off after our camp was done,
yeah,
I slept till like 10 o'clock every single day.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I was so exhausted from everything.
Yeah. No, for sure. Um, and we had some like restful weekends. Not a lot, but
Yeah,
we had like a couple here and there where we like got really rested. So
that's good.
all in all, it ended up being good. And I've had a lot of people ask me like, would I do it again? And my answer would be no, because there's a lot of factors that are out of my control. Things that
Yeah,
like um things that just like could ruin the experience for me. And now that I've like done it once, like I would have something to compare it to. And if for some reason it ended up being like a worse experience, like
yeah,
that could just
that's fair.
ruin it all for me. And I think it was good. So that's the only reason I wouldn't do it again. So
Nice.
yeah, but I had fun. So
That's good.
that was my summer. Anyways, I think that's all we have for today. So
I think so.
woo! Thank you all for checking out this episode of JNT. That's how it be. Please drop a like if you enjoyed. Go ahead and leave a comment on any other content you would like to see. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to Tyler's channel or my gaming channel, which is
Yes.
dented_whale. Go ahead and check that out and give that a
It'll be
subscribe as
linked
well.
at the end of the video.
Ayo, check out the link. Anyways, we'll catch y'all later. See you in the next episode. Peace out.
Peace.